can homeopathic medicines aggravate the existing problems? And I would like to give a little detailed answer to this, because there is a general belief that homeopathic treatment increases the problem initially. And I would like to correct this with a case example. The same patient whom I shared in the beginning, who was having diabetes and all that, and after 1 year we see that his diabetes, sugar levels are coming well within normal limits, both with homeopathy and allopathy, which were earlier higher when he was only on allopathic medicines. But it was interesting when I saw him 2 months back. He says that, doctor, there is a new problem which has started coming up. And that problem is, now I am developing recurrent cold and cough. And this problem I used to have long back, 10 years, 15 years back. And the same problem is coming up. And I am really tempted to take allopathic medicines. This is the point I explain him something about homeopathy. I tell him that this phenomena is called as exteriorization in homeopathic terminology. What does it mean? Normally, our body is capable of defending any form of illness. When the body's defense fails, or when something happens where the body is not able to cope, then the body tends to compromise. And that compromise generally comes in form of a disease. That disease depends on what genetic weaknesses which we are having. Now, generally the body tends to compromise by getting affected in the most superficial part of the body. So for example, I see a lot of children cases or a lot of adult cases who have had asthma. They say that the chronology of the illness is that initially they had eczema, then they had applied some ointments and all that, and after 5 years, 10 years, or maybe 1 or 2 years, depending upon their disease speed, they develop recurrent cold and cough, allergies, then they take medicines for the same, and then they develop heavy head and sinusitis, and later on maybe they develop asthma. So what is happening here is the disease or the body which is compromised initially was affected at the skin. Now skin is the most superficial part of our body. The body is trying to defend itself by creating an eczema. But if that eczema is not treated in the right manner, it is going deeper and deeper. Means what is happening? It's affecting the skin. The skin is not getting healed properly. The disease goes inside. Means it's affecting the nose, later on the sinuses, and maybe later on the chest, leading into asthma. With homeopathic medicines, what happens is, I have seen that when you treat a patient who is having asthma or sinusitis or allergic cold and cough, the colds and coughs or the asthma tend to reduce. Then the patients might say that, doctor, you know what? The complaint which I had when I was a child, those eruptions or those eczematous patches are again coming back to me. That is the time we explain them, this is what the homeopathic medicines are ought to do. So it is not actually that they are increasing the complaints, but whatever suppressed problems were there, which were not tackled in the right manner, the body is kind of throwing it out to the most superficial part or the system or the organ of the body, which is exactly what is happening in this case of diabetes. His sugars are getting better. Now diabetes is the disease of the pancreas where it is not able to produce a lot of insulin. But as the body is kind of getting better and better from inside, you see that something is happening at the superficial level, which is the nose, where he is getting recurrent cold and cough. And then we tell them that don't take any other form of treatment. We will help you with homeopathy to come out of this illness as well. So it is not necessary that it is kind of showing any aggravation, but all that was suppressed in your body because of not the right form of treatment, it is coming out to the most superficial organ of the body. This is exactly this kind of a follow-up is a dream follow-up for each and every homeopath.